Live from the Dr. Jerry Henderson Radio Complex, it's time for Card Guys. And now, here's your host, Anthony Schulte.
Good morning. Thank you, Michael, for the intro as always, and welcome to Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk, Season 3, Episode 19. Coming up today, we have a Detroit Sports Roundtable, where we discuss every team in Detroit, including the victorious Pistons. We also make our Week 11 NFL picks. I'm Anthony Schulte, and joining me as always is my man, Ryan Donnelly.
You know, today's date, November 13th, it's a very special day here in America because it's the day where the Gummy Bear album comes out on stores on November 13th with lots of music, games, and extras.
Yes, it is. The Gummy Bear song. When did that become popular? 2013?
Oh my gosh, that's a
take a look.
It is a
really
throwback.
quick.
I would imagine definitely
2007.
Oh, 2007. Wow.
So not even in the early 2010s.
Not those early 2010s. Anyways, right next to me, Mr. Michael Rosenkranz.
Great day to be here for another show today. Detroit Sports Roundtable. Haven't had one of these in a while, but should be good today. Let's get it.
Should be.
Doing these.
I want to start off with a quick rant first about the fans in Detroit. I'm getting tired of this. Last night, Tim Hardaway Jr. took a really scary. Not only he took the charge. NFL refs didn't call that. So this is also partially on the NFL
refs?
NBA. The NBA refs, they're equally as bad.
Yeah,
the
true.
NBA refs are just as at fault as the who's the player that ran into him? As the player that ran into him, the NBA refs should have stopped that play entirely for a charge, but they didn't. He takes a really weird bounce off the hardwood on a charge that wasn't called, and then come back around town after that. He takes another charge, gets hit in the face, laceration in the face. He's bleeding profusely. But not only that, his head, back of his head, hits Jalen Duren's knee, which is made out of steel. And then his head hits the hardwood again. So really scary injury for Tim Hardaway Jr. Thoughts and prayers for him. Negative CAT scans. So that's good at least. He had to get wheelchaired off. But during this, while he was on the ground holding his head, medical personnel and the team are surrounding him. We have fans chanting Jared Goff while our own player is injured. Now, it would be inappropriate and distasteful if any player from our team or the opposing team was injured and you're doing this. But our own player is down with a head injury. He can't get up and he's bleeding profusely. And we're chanting Jared Goff. Now, I get in the stadium, you don't have the luxury of knowing everything like when you do on the broadcast, but it's pretty obvious to put together context clues. There is a huddle around a player who's going like this, who can't get up, and everybody looks worried. It should be dead silent. If anything, you should be chanting Hardaway, Hardaway. You should be chanting for him, not for the quarterback that plays a couple miles down the road. Like, come on, people. It's getting ridiculous. Why are we chanting Jared Goff everywhere? It's ruining it. You know the light the beam and the play the song that gets overused and now it's just old and it's not cool anymore? It was cool for a season and they try to do it more than one season. That's the Jared Goff chants. That's the Jared Goff chants. I get some people form it as or view it as a sign of unity within the city. Unity within the city is not chanting against a player, or not chanting against a player. Chanting for a player that did not play his best game, but chanting for a player that doesn't play for a team while a player on your team is injured. Disgusting stuff. I'm very upset about that. When I heard that, I was even more turned off by the idea of Jared Goff, the Jared Goff chants, the Jared Goff. I think it's inappropriate, especially when your own guy is injured and on the floor. There's no place for that. At Ford Field, do it. It's Ford Field. It's where the Lions play during a Lions game. At other stadiums when the Lions are playing, like even if it's even if the Pistons were playing during the Lions game, I understand it because the Lions are on.
Or if Jared Goff is there.
Right.
Because like when we went to the Tigers game, like back in May against the Pirates, he was there and everyone was chanting Jared Goff. It was fine.
That makes sense. When it's appropriate, it's fine. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
That the entire city does it when it's appropriate. But like at a random, it's like, come on, people. We're down by 4 against the Pacers in the home opener, and we're chanting Jared Goff. If you're really that just level, like locked in with the Lions, and that's all you want to root for is the Lions, then don't go to these games. Simple as.
If you go to a Red Wings game or a Pistons game or a Tigers game or the grocery store or a bar or anywhere that's not named Ford Field and you chant Jared Goff, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. You're not a Detroit sports fan. I said it. It's immature. It's old. Like Anthony said, like the light the beam and like the play the song and all this other stuff that was cool a couple of years ago. Like the beam a couple of years ago, that was cool. Like a beam that shot into space every time the Kings won. That was cool 2 years ago. Now it's old. Play the song. Last year was cool because the song is actually catchy. Now it's kind of getting a little stale. This Jared Goff stuff should have ended when we lost the NFC Championship back in January. I'm going to be honest, we were at Monday Night Raw on Monday. There were Jared Goff chants going all around. I kind of found it a little immature. I know.
It kind of made sense. It was a WWE event, and they're telling us to chant and be loud. And if there's one place where it kind of makes sense, it's a WWE crowd because. We saw Red Wings stuff there. We saw Pistons stuff there. I get it. It's still a little immature, but I understand it more there because you're not supporting a specific team.
True, but at the same time, personally, I kind of found it a little irritating. But especially when like you said, you're at a WWE event, and you're supposed to chant, but not Jared Goff. I think you're supposed to chant like Sheamus, or like. Yeet, 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 like all that other stuff, but
Yeet.
Not Jared Goff. Like, I know unity, whatever, but it's annoying. It's old. If you say it anywhere that's not, if Jared Goff is at a Pistons game or a Tigers game, do it. If you're at Ford Field and he's warming up or he's driving down the field, do it. But when you're at a Red Wings game and someone's on the PK or the power play, or when you're at a Pistons game and someone's on the floor, don't do it. It's annoying. It's getting to the point where if you do it anywhere outside of Ford Field, you're not a real fan. Go support the Lions and the Lions only.
Absolutely disgusting stuff, what I saw yesterday. It's not all Detroit sports fans, but it's most of them.
It's casuals.
It's most of them.
It's the casuals.
It's the casuals who don't have common sense. And are literally this was right up there to me with the whole stadium in Cleveland cheering for Deshaun Watson when he was down.
Yeah.
This is what I rank it up there with. It's absolutely disgusting behavior. You never get rowdy or cheer when a guy is down, let alone your own guy and Tim Hardaway Jr. You guys need to do a lot better. You guys can do better than that. Jared Goff chants need to end when it's not at Ford Field. They need to end. It's getting so old, so repetitive, and there's no place for it when your own guy is down and bleeding profusely on the hardwood.
And a wheelchair's being rolled
and
out.
a wheelchair's
And
being
he had
rolled
to
out.
be
Exactly.
wheelchaired off. And even worse, his dad was there.
Yeah.
Yes, that was just...
And y'all are chanting Jared Goff. No.
It's just incredibly distasteful, and
It is.
And I'm getting really fed up with Detroit sports fans just in general, just because of their lack of support for every team.
They only do it for one.
They're all Red Wings, Tigers, and Lions fans, and I think I saw a tweet that was like, or an Instagram comment or reply that said, "Well, we'll support them if they win." I was like, okay, so you're a definition bandwagon. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They said, yeah, we'll support any Detroit team if they win. Okay, you're a bandwagon then. That is the definition of a bandwagon, is only supporting when a team wins and not supporting a team when they're bad. And it's getting ridiculous. And I can guarantee you those weren't Pistons fans that weren't doing that. I can almost guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that it was, a couple just Detroit fans in general that were like, hey, Pistons tickets are cheap. They were cheap last night for that game. It's it's NBA Cup, must be cool. And they decided to go. I can guarantee they're probably in Lions jerseys too at a Pistons game. However, I think there's a stark difference between Tigers, Lions, Red Wings fans and then fans that are also Pistons fans. Yeah. Because I kind of mentioned this to you, and you were like, you didn't see it like that, or you didn't think of it like this. Pistons fans are kind of like, the outcast. They're kind of like just kind of pushed off. The Pistons, all these teams are doing so well, nobody's supporting the Pistons, then you just kind of got your own little bubble of Pistons fans. And usually Pistons fans are great. They're all obviously, a couple oddballs. Mark Gardner on Facebook, who has a profound hate for Cade. It's just Detroit sports fans, we need to be better. We need to support every team. It's not a we'll go to games when they win. Oh, we'll support them when they win. No, you support them no matter what. That's what being a fan is. That's what being a Detroit sports fan is. However, we need to get to our 3 stars. Let's quickly hit our 3 stars. Ryan, you start us off.
Quick honorary star goes to Tim Hardaway. Yep. We already explained it throughout our little Jared Goff rant.
And our honorary star on Monday, it was Jake Bates.
Yeah.
I don't know if we mentioned that. He was our honorary star.
Unanimous first star was Jake Bates on Monday. Obviously, the 58 and the 51-yard field goal. 52, sorry. But quickly, Tim Hardaway Jr., obviously gushing blood from the head, taking 2 nasty hits in one possession, and his dad was there in attendance, which kind of made it a little worse. But also what made it even worse was the Jared Goff chants. Please stop. We already talked about it for 10 minutes. That's my honorary star, Tim Hardaway. Don't need to go any further with that. 3 stars. Third star is Joshua Carthy of the LA Rams, the unsung hero from that really gross Monday night game between the Dolphins. He had he was 5 for 6. He hit 2 50-plus yard field goals, and the Rams got the win on Monday against the Miami Dolphins. Second star, I'm giving it to Malik Beasley, my Piston. He on last night against the Miami Heat, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, plus minus of -9. He was solid last night for the Pistons getting the win. We'll talk more about that later. My first star is my boy Franz Wagner, who last night against the Charlotte Hornets in their first NBA Cup game, 32 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, plus minus of 19. He was solid all around for Orlando, and they got their first NBA Cup win of tournament play. Those are my 3 stars.
My 3 stars, I'm going to start with Kyle Connor, the Winnipeg Jets. He had a really good showing against the New York Rangers. Jets beat them 6-3, but Kyle Connor had 2 goals and an assist on 7 shots, so really solid. Jets are the real deal in the NHL right now. They are 15-1. My second star is going to go to another NHL player, Nick Suzuki of the Canadiens. He had 2 goals, 2 assists on 4 shots, and I'm trying to remember who the Canadiens played, but they got the win against Buffalo. That's right, another high-scoring affair. 7-5 over the Sabres. So Nick Suzuki gets my second star. My first star, Jalen Duren. He didn't have a good game, but he did have the game-tying alley-oop, which was absolutely beautiful from Cade to Duren, which tied the game, and Spelstra decided that he didn't really know how many timeouts there were, and drew the bench for the technical. We'll discuss that later, but those are my 3 stars.
All right, my 3 stars. Let's start off with number 3, Isaiah Beef Stew Stewart. Just a great couple of games. He started 2 games for Jalen Duren, 10 points, 11 rebounds against the Hawks, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks against the Rockets. And then last night, what he's earned the star for, coming off the bench, double-double, 13 points, 10 rebounds, some really good possessions down the stretch, good free throws, really making the most out of these minutes that he is getting and receiving and earning. He has earned them over Paul Reed this season 100%, especially with the last couple games played. And I love what I'm seeing from Isaiah Stewart. I have his 1-of-1 RPA.
He's fitting his role very well.
He is fitting his role very well. How about Steph Curry last night? That's my second star. Stephen Curry. Pull up this game here. Steph Curry had, in 34 minutes, 37 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. Not the best shooting splits, not shooting splits you'd expect from Curry. However, he had one of his Curry flurries, if you will. In the fourth quarter, final 3 minutes and 10 seconds of the game, 12 points, 4 of 4 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3, and he scored the final 12 Golden State Warrior points to help put them above the Mavericks. One of the better games of the season that at least I've watched between the Mavericks and the Warriors. Klay Thompson's return. So Steph Curry gets my second star. And then my first star, JB Bickerstaff, which we'll get into it in our next segment here. Drawing up a really beautiful slob play from Cade to Duren, completely confusing the defense and sending Erik Spoelstra into a bit of a panic attack, who called a timeout. Those are my 3 stars. Beef Stew, Steph Curry, JB Bickerstaff. The Detroit Pistons are victorious, gentlemen.
Barely.
Wow. How we pulled that one out of our you-know-what,
No clue.
I don't know. But we did. A win is a win is a win is a win. And it counts regardless as a win in the win column. The Detroit Pistons' first ever in-season tournament / NBA Cup win in franchise history. And we move up to 5-7. And a fun fact, we are a missed box out and a missed free throw away from being on a 6-game win streak and 7-5 in third place in the East.
What kind of stat is that?
So yeah, we are cooked when it comes to that. I just want to say we are cooked. But JB Bickerstaff, as I mentioned, calling that great sideline out of bounds play to tie the game. Cade lob to Duren. And then Erik Spoelstra tries calling a timeout. And you could say the Pistons won the Weber way. Because we were not winning that game if it wasn't for Erik Spoelstra having a mental lapse late in that game. But it shouldn't have even gotten to that. Genuinely shouldn't have. Cade Cunningham had 4 turnovers in overtime. 7 turnovers total. Unacceptable. The turnovers have been a problem all year, not only with the team, but with Cade. And I am probably the biggest Cade fan out there. I love Cade. He is our future. However, the one negative thing about this season so far with him is a couple inefficient games and turnovers. We have to take care of the ball. He looks so just careless with the ball sometimes, and it's really annoying because if he was to take care of the ball, honestly we would have won those 2 games against the Hornets and the Rockets if he just takes care of the ball. We wouldn't have gone to overtime if he just takes care of the ball. The turnovers have to go down. He's second in the league in turnovers at like 4.9 it is right now. Second to James Harden, who's at 5.1. You got a bunch of all-stars and Hall of Famers up in the 4 turnover range, which, look, he's going to turn the ball over a decent amount just with his usage. And play when a player's playmaking, getting 10 assists a game, he's most likely going to have 3 to 4 turnovers a game. Especially 3 turnovers were toss-ups. One of the turnovers was because Bam Adebayo held his arm on a jump ball. One of them is because Jaden Ivey ran into him, right? So you can't count all of them against him. But there was just a couple just brain-dead mistakes that he's been making over and over again. And that's what's led to these tied games. But, hey, the Pistons won. That's all I care about. We want. We're going on a 3-game road trip. So winning this game at home is really nice, especially when this road trip isn't guaranteed. No win in the NBA is guaranteed. So I'm happy we won. I would like to see better taking care of the ball. But, yeah, solid game overall. Especially going out to that 18-point lead.
It took us 4 months to get to 5 wins last year, and it took us 4 weeks to get to 5 wins.
Not even,
this year.
Less than 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
By a day, less than 4 weeks.
For the last 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks to get to 5 wins.
27 days.
This is how you know that coaching is important in the NBA.
It is.
We have 2 of the best assistant coaches in the NBA.
And having veterans.
Yes. Mind-blowing concept. Troy.
Modern NBA players and a competent head coach that wants to be here.
In the words of Malik Beasley, wow, what a game. Win is a win. We trying to go to Vegas.
We're going to Vegas.
Oh, I hope we go to
Yes,
Vegas.
we are.
Taking a
our
look at the
Super Bowl,
NBA Cup
hopefully.
schedule, We got the Raptors on Friday, who haven't looked too great. And we play Milwaukee tonight. I mean,
That'll be tough.
Milwaukee. I'm going to say this. Detroit fans, I might get a little heat from this, but I think the Milwaukee Bucks are the Detroit Red Wings of the NBA. Great talent, really great talent, horrific coaching. Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham. Doc Rivers known to choke in the playoffs, and Darvin Ham's just an overall terrible coach. He was carried by LeBron and AD and all these other guys. He's lucky that he had that roster around him, because if not, he wouldn't be hired he wouldn't be hired. But
This starts a pretty, and for the Bucks, they played the Raptors last night.
Okay.
Got the win.
obviously,
They have a stretch of the Pistons, the Hornets, the Rockets, the Bulls, the Pacers, the Hornets, the Heat. This is a stretch where I think the Bucks are going to figure it out. They're going to start to win some ball games. There's too much talent to not beat, honestly, the Pistons, the Hornets, the Bulls. Right now, the Pacers. The Rockets will probably give them a fight on next Monday. But I feel like this is a stretch where not only do I think the Bucks are going to figure it out, but I think it's their goal right now to figure it out. And honestly, they're probably taking us a lot more seriously than they would be if they were, 9-3 and not 3-9 or whatever their record is. I think it's 3-9.
3-8.
3-8. So they'd be taking us just probably more seriously than if they were 8-3. Mm-hmm. And I don't think, I'm not expecting a win tonight. You're on a second leg of a back-to-back. You're on the road. The Bucks played at home last night. The Bucks are looking to rewrite this ship, and they see you as a great opportunity to get 2 in a row. Mm-hmm. So, and after last night, it's competitive. I expect a competitive game, but do I expect a win against Milwaukee?
Not really.
I hope so. I hate Milwaukee with a passion. I really dislike Milwaukee. However, I think they're gonna start to figure it out. Giannis gonna have a big game. Dame's gonna have a big game, and hopefully we win. But I'm not expecting it.
I'm trying to look up the last time we beat the Bucks in the regular season. The last time we beat
We came close the last couple seasons.
the first game we played against the Bucks, that game was
Last
fun.
year you had a shot.
The last time
the Marcus Sasser
the Pistons beat the Bucks in the regular season was on January 3rd, 2022. A 115-106 win.
I remember that game.
That was the last time. I thought it was earlier, but anyways. It's been a while since we beat the Bucks in
Almost
the regular
3 years.
season. Almost 3 years. If there's any time to beat the Bucks, it's now when they're a little cold. But then again, they're trying to figure it out, like you said. Yeah. They got a pretty decent cupcake schedule. But, just clean up turnovers. I think that was my biggest issue last night. Turnovers, especially in overtime, were pretty bad. Cade's on pace to have like 471 turnovers, which is an NBA record. I don't want that to happen personally. But when he found his shot in overtime, he was wet. I think if you find the right shot without trying to turn the ball over, we make a lot of shots. Especially that proved last night in overtime. In the words of Anthony Schulte, value the possession. Value the possession.
Turnovers are a big problem.
If you value the possession every time and not try to turn the ball over, you'll score the ball and you will win the game. Hopefully we do that against Milwaukee tonight, and then hopefully we do that against Toronto on Friday.
We have Milwaukee tonight in Milwaukee. Hopefully the Pistons can pull out a win. The Detroit Tigers. We have a little Detroit Tigers segment today. That's what kind of sparked the roundtable. Because we have news on a Tarik Skubal contract extension. And it's what you should expect knowing Chris Ilitch. So according to a friend of mine, Evan Petzold from the Detroit Free Press, Tigers offered Tarik Skubal a non-competitive contract extension offer. We lowball Skubal. As you can see in the
nice. Very nice
graphic. It's not a typo. Lowball Skubal. Come to expect it. This is a man that has earned a blank check. You put a piece of paper in front of hey, boss, write down a number, all right? I'll sell some more pizzas for you. Well, sign. Just whatever you want. Your lifetime supply of crazy bread, go ahead. It's yours. $500 million? Sure, you have the best pitcher in baseball, right? Maybe $500 million is a little excessive, but still, you get the point. You give him a blank check. Whatever he wants, he gets. Say, hey, what are you looking for right now, Skubal? Okay, you got it. We got a deal, right? That is what you do with the best pitcher in baseball. Triple crown. Going to be the Cy Young winner. And you lowball him? A non-competitive offer basically is a professional way of saying you lowballed him. Disgusting.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say other than...
it's really a quick hitter.
It's atrocious. Yeah. And, you come to expect it with Chris Ilitch. And it's not just him. This is Scott Harris, too. Scott Harris is a smart baseball mind. But why would you lowball the best pitcher in baseball?
Especially when you don't want to get rid of Javi Baez.
Exactly. You don't even want to get
backwards.
You don't even want to get rid of Javi Baez, who is expected to have a role at shortstop this year with Trey Sweeney.
Trey Sweeney is the shortstop.
Trey Sweeney is your shortstop.
He's one of the reasons why we made it into the playoffs in general, and made it so far into the playoffs. Not Javi Baez.
And it's so stupid because Javi underwent season-ending surgery. We don't even know if he's going to be ready by opening day. And again, you're not going to DFA him because you paid him something stupid. 6 years, $140 million.
Yep.
And this is what? I think year 4, Ryan,
Year
you
4.
were saying? Year 4. We have 3 years left to go with Javi Baez.
He's 31 and just got a season-ending surgery.
Hang it up.
In baseball.
He needs to hang it up.
He needs to go. And the fact that we didn't DFA him, and we're talking about giving Tarik Skubal a non-competitive offer, get out of here. Like, this is, and I saw an Instagram comment, and we'll wrap it up with this really quickly. I saw an Instagram comment that said, my mind's blanking. Oh, this is why the Tigers will never be consistently competitive under Chris Ilitch.
Yeah.
This is why.
Yeah.
Because you have the pieces. Are you going to pay him? Are you going to keep him? You might trade him away. You might let him walk away because you can't give him a contract extension. You need to spend money in today's MLB. And especially when you have the homegrown talent. You built Tarik Skubal. You developed Tarik Skubal. This is Chris Fetter's ultimate baby. Pitching baby. That's Tarik Skubal. And you're not going to... We could go on and on in a circle about it all day. Tigers lowball Tarik Skubal. Winter meetings are coming up. I don't know what to expect now. I thought we turned a corner. I thought we turned a new leaf.
We're gonna play Jonathan Aruz.
Aruz.
Our only free agent signing will be Jonathan Aruz.
Right.
No, seriously, we're not front runners for Alex Bregman. Tigers are starting out patient in the offseason. You got to be kidding me. You have a payroll. I know you've mentioned about the payroll. $90 million below league average.
Huh. And that's with Javi.
That's with Javi Baez, too. And you're trying to, we want to see this team build off of last season. You have the pieces, but you need to pay glue. People. You need glue.
Yep. All right.
Absolutely disgusting.
That's the Tigers. Enough of the Tigers. Let's talk about the Red Wings. Yeah.
It gets better.
It just gets better and better. Haven't played since the weekend, since Saturday, I'm pretty sure.
Against the Rangers.
So we're still
Rangers.
I honestly thought we were gonna play in between Monday's show and today's show. No. Why would we? Right?
It's the same score from Monday on your little Bally bar.
Don't call it a Bally bar.
Now my man's just trying to rile Anthony up this morning.
If the Red Wings lose tonight, they officially have a worse record than the Pistons.
Wow.
Especially if the Pistons win.
Wow. Imagine that. The Pistons having more wins.
Red Wings fans ain't ready for that conversation yet, though.
No, they're not ready for that conversation.
All right, boys. You guys are the Red Wings experts on this panel of stooges, so go ahead.
Michael. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Not much to say. We played, how many games? 2 games since we last saw you on last Wednesday against the Leafs and the Rangers. Not good. Obviously, 2 of the best teams in all of hockey. I mean, I didn't expect wins, to be honest. I really didn't. Offense has looked putrid. Defense has looked putrid. Goaltending, it's done what they've done what they've could against these 2 powerhouses of hockey teams. But, I mean, Dylan Larkin's got to wake up, score goals. Not Dylan Larkin. Everyone else, wake up. Veterans, Kane, DeBrincat, Rasmussen, younger guys, Raymond, Edvinson, Sider, wake up. You haven't played a game in 4 days. You got to go out there and strut your stuff. Do what you did last year. Play for yourself. Don't play for Lalonde. His locker room is gone because he doesn't motivate that well, I guess. But please, play for each other. Please, play with enthusiasm, because it feels like I'm watching a very tired hockey team out there. Please, just wake up and score goals and play better defense. Goaltenders, keep doing what you're doing. Why was Billy Husso in net on Saturday? What happened?
Lion's hurt. Lion is coming back. Lion is getting ready to come back. Cam Talbot's getting the start tonight. Husso will be the backup, but Husso is also expected to travel on the front end of this road trip, because Red Wings have the Penguins, Ducks, Kings, Sharks.
Gotta win.
And then
West Coast trip.
West Coast trip.
Gotta
So
win
it starts
3 out
with
of
the
4.
Penguins tonight. Friday, you got the Ducks. Saturday, you got the Kings. Monday, the 18th, you got the Sharks for that West Coast trip. And then you return home Thursday, November 21st. Gotta win the West Coast trip. Mm-hmm. Penguins are struggling. They're still a really good team. They have lots of talent. And Dylan Larkin has shown strides. He's getting better. I think he's had 9 goals this season. He's really stepped up when he needed to. Everybody else has been pretty much a goose egg.
Yeah.
Wake up. Play disciplined hockey. Red Wings don't really have that good of a penalty kill. They're 65%, which is 30th in the NHL. Power play is just a touch under 25%, 24.4. So 8th
PK
in
is
the NHL.
31st in the NHL, by the way.
Yeah, not good.
It's bad.
You gotta play better, and hopefully it starts tonight with the Penguins, but I honestly wouldn't be shocked if the Red Wings drop this one against the Penguins.
Well, what do we say about Monty Williams? The fish rots from the head.
Yep.
It's Lalonde,
Yep.
in my opinion.
Absolutely.
This
I
team-
wanted Lalonde gone last year.
Lalonde, whatever.
La Elmo's world, for Christ's sakes.
Clip it.
Elmo's world.
That's
It feels like we're
another
playing in
throwback.
Elmo's world.
We need
seriously.
We need a young, experienced coach that plays in this league. That played in this league. We need a young guy that can bring enthusiasm to the locker room.
What, like Dan Campbell?
Like Dan Campbell.
Yeah, exactly.
We need a good motivator. We need a good strategist like Dan Campbell. Obviously, that's kind of impossible. We kind of got the diamond in the rough, but with the Lions. But we need a new coach. Derek Lalonde needs to go.
Agreed. So that's all for the Red Wings segment. We play tonight against the Penguins.
I hope so.
Let's go Red Wings. All right, coming up after the break, finally we get to football for you guys. We got Lions preview. We have our Week 11 NFL picks. You're watching Card Guys Detroit Sports Talk. We'll be back right after this. Sports cards, signed jerseys, signed helmets, and more. Miller's Sports Cards and Collectibles is your one-stop shop for all things the hobby. Make sure to check them out down Mission Street in Mount Pleasant, right past Meyer. Miller's Sports Cards and Collectibles. Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk. Join Michael Rosenkranz,
Sports take precedence over academics.
I agree, but
Ryan Donnelly,
Corbin Burns, who is their big ticket J13 item. Skubal is with us. Skubal's our big ticket.
Did
J1.
you just call Tarik Skubal James? And Anthony Schulte.
I have an issue.
You have.
There is no break. It's a constant grind. It's an unbreakable cycle.
Yeah, it's.
As they navigate through the Detroit sports landscape. Live Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 a.m. on 101.1 The Beat in Mount Pleasant and at 11 a.m. on YouTube. Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk. Welcome back, Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk. Ryan Donnelly, Michael Rosenkranz, and Anthony Schulte here with you on this beautiful hump day morning. Actually, it was cold and frosty. What am I talking about?
It's good to see frost on the ground, though.
I was cold.
There's frost.
I was cold walking.
There's frost on people's windshields now.
Yeah,
and I can't remember if I have my snow brush in my car or not.
Well, that seems like a problem for later on.
Yes.
A problem for right now. Not really a problem. The Detroit Lions. That was a terrible segue. Here we go with the Lions. Jacksonville coming into Ford Field on Sunday on CBS. 1 o'clock kickoff. Almost said tip-off. I am brain-rotted by the Detroit Pistons. The Lions, it seems like a really winnable game. Not much to touch on here. Execute what you need to execute. Build a lead. It's just like the Titans game, right? Build your lead. Play your brand of football. Don't underestimate this team, this Jaguars team, because, hey, they held Minnesota to 12 and picked off Sam Darnold 3 times. With Jared Goff's interception problems in the last game, I don't know what to expect from him. Bettors, over 1.5 interceptions. I'd pick that because this Jacksonville defense is still pretty decent, and Goff looks to be a little off. Hopefully he's not. Hopefully he's not, but what do we tend to see? We tend to see when Goff has one bad game, maybe he gets in his head a little bit. Hopefully not. Again, though, hopefully not. I really hope he doesn't throw any picks. I really hope he doesn't for my Jared Goff agenda. But the Lions, they're coming in on Sunday. Hopefully they can just get out with the win, seeking their first ever 9-1 start in team history.
The one thing I've noticed when the Lions play bad teams is we don't really drive the ball down the field that well. Especially like if we take a look at Tennessee when we played them a few weeks ago, we really won that game because of good field possession by defense and special teams.
Yeah, special teams.
The one time we drove down the field, we got a field goal. Just drive the ball down the field. Well, obviously throwing an interception is just football, but don't throw 5 interceptions today, Jerry.
Don't make any brain-dead decisions like throwing the ball to no man's land, and all of a sudden you have coming in over to pick the ball off real easily.
Yeah, absolutely, but Jared Goff, just he's been in his head the past week. Just don't get in your head and play the brand of football you've been playing the past 7 weeks.
I will say he was really good in that fourth quarter, putting those 5 interceptions behind him.
Yes.
I think he was really good at that. We've seen in his career, he has one bad game. He starts to kind of get in his head a little bit. Maybe things have changed. That fourth quarter might be a sign of change here. Kind of putting those 5 interceptions behind him and leading a touchdown drive and leading those field goal drives to win the game, essentially.
Yeah.
So, I mean, kudos to him putting those interceptions behind him.
Yeah, don't let Jacksonville take you for granted. I mean, they're probably the worst team in the AFC, but still, they got a decent defense. They got Josh Hines-Allen. He's pretty solid.
He's pretty good. They have Trayvon Walker.
They got Trayvon Walker. First pick in Hutch's draft. Obviously, he hasn't put up Hutch numbers, but he's still a solid piece to that Jackson's D-line, to that Jaguars D-line. Don't let this team take you for granted. Offense might be putrid. However, you got Za'Darius Smith coming. So he's going to put up some numbers against the Jacksonville offense.
Set to make his debut,
yes.
hopefully.
Lawrence hasn't looked great. They don't have any weapons.
Is Lawrence still questionable?
He is. Lawrence is still questionable as of right now because he's dealing with... I'm trying to remember what he's dealing with.
Still, even if Lawrence doesn't play, you got Mac Jones, who...
I think it might be a hamstring.
Yeah, that's...
It isn't a Card Guys episode without me getting fact-checked by Michael and Anthony.
Oh,
shoulder. It's a shoulder.
Shoulder.
It's a shoulder, yeah.
Yeah, so he might not play. But they still got Mac Jones, who isn't great.
He's not that great.
This defense should have no problem lighting up this offense. Defense is decent, but then again, Josh Hines-Allen, Trayvon Austin, or just.
I want to see us work on and execute the fundamentals that we need to win.
Yes.
Running the ball, kind of developing some more of these pass plays, getting more comfortable with these pass plays, not putting too much on film, but being able to work on stuff in a game setting. You can never replicate a game setting. Let's work on some things. Especially if you can gain a lead, let's work on some things. Let's maybe utilize some plays we haven't used so far. See what works, what doesn't work against the actual NFL team in an actual NFL game. You got to build the lead first.
A touchdown pass.
Hopefully, maybe. I'm hoping.
Maybe.
You got to get a lead first, and I think that's the thing. This team wants to try so many different things against these bad teams, but you don't get your lead first, and that's what you need to do. You need to build up. You need to build the lead first. BTA throughout the first half, and then the second half you can have your fun. You can have your trick plays, you can have your Panay touchdown, you can have your, Goff to Amon-Ra to Gibbs, throwing it all the way down because Decker reports as eligible and Decker gets a touchdown. Something. I don't know.
Hopefully Decker plays.
Yeah, hopefully Decker plays. But regardless, you need to make sure you build that lead first and you're not jeopardizing the win. Because that's, at the end of the day, it's more important than stats, more important than how you look. It's about if you're winning ball games. And you can't lose to a team like Jacksonville on this schedule.
No, and Jacksonville has not won on the road. So
True.
that could be...
And we have one of the toughest road environments.
You have one of the toughest road environments. So I have no doubt that the Detroit faithful is going to show up at Ford Field, pack the place, and make it loud and especially rowdy for the Jaguars. Nothing really much I can touch on that, but... Just play disciplined football.
Right.
Just do what you guys...
Arnold.
Exactly,
Sorry.
Ryan.
Excuse me, I had a little cough.
Disciplined football, fundamentals, grow your lead, then have your fun in the second half if you want. Trying to go 9-1 for the first time in program history, and you got to continue to make your case in the NFC North and grow your playoff seeding chance.
You got to keep, especially with this Packers-Bears game. And the Vikings, they're probably going to get a win. The Packers are probably going to get a win. You need to get a win.
Yeah, you need to get a win.
You need to keep up with the tide in the NFC North. And if you lose games like a game to Jacksonville when everybody else that you're competing with in the division is winning, that's not good, right? Especially in this division. So you need to focus on getting the win. I'm not concerned about Dan Campbell and the guys focusing on the win. I think that's all they're focused on right now is just executing what they need to execute and getting the win, getting out of there with the win. That's all that matters. That's all you need to do. And then you have the Colts the next week, but that's something to worry about after we beat the Jaguars. So the Lions will play the Jaguars 1 o'clock CBS. Hopefully Kevin Harlan is on the call. Fingers crossed. But a pretty winnable game.
Yeah.
Hopefully we could pull out a win, and we're talking about a victory Monday once again on Monday. Let's get into our NFL picks. We have some games to choose from here, and we're starting off with an absolute banger against the Commanders and the Eagles on Thursday night's football. Another Al Michaels special.
No,
I'm going with the Eagles.
Oh,
I feel like the Commanders, they really competed last week against the Steelers. But I feel like going into Philly's kind of figuring it out right now. That rush defense for the Commanders is pretty decent, but Saquon Barkley is also Saquon Barkley. And I just think the Philadelphia Eagles pull it off. ELGLES Eagles.
Okay. I thought this was going to be the Anthony Schulte upset of the week, personally, going through all these games. Because he loves his commies. Fun fact. I think the Commanders logo looks more like the Warriors secondary logo that they had in the in-season tournament court.
Yeah, kind of.
It looks the exact same.
A little bit,
but besides that, I'm going with the ESGLES Eagles.
ESGL. I think I said ELGL. Whatever.
All right, let's go Eagles.
All right, we got NFC North battle here between the Packers and the Bears. I'm going with the Packers. I think that's I think the Bears have a chance, especially because they have a new offensive coordinator coming in, but no, give me the Packers.
You still got to learn the offensive coordinator. Give me the Packers.
Yep.
New offense, same Packers. Although they are going into Soldier Field, I don't care. Give me the Packers.
And then we have the Lions and Jaguars.
Lions next.
are 800-point favorites. Or negative 800 favorites. I don't know what that equates to points-wise, but give me the Lions. And we have the Titans and the Vikings.
Vikings.
Give me the Vikings.
Vikings.
And we have the Dolphins and the Raiders. Give me the Dolphins.
Let's go Dolphins. They got to win over the Rams, and the Raiders are still a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Both teams are looking like dumpster fires this year, but still give me the Dolphins to beat the Raiders.
We have the Rams and the Patriots. I'm going with the Rams here.
This is Rams.
Then we have the Browns
Rams.
and the Saints.
This is tough.
This is tough.
You know what? Hold on. Let me take a look.
Two teams that aren't really that good.
I might come back to this one later on.
I might come back to it, too. I can't make a decision.
I want to go with the Saints for now. That's tentative, though.
I'm going to pick the Saints for now because they are the favorite. But, yeah.
All right, we have Ravens and Steelers. I'm going with the Ravens.
Yeah, this is going to be Ravens. I mean, both very good teams, but Ravens are starting to figure it out. And
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson has been buzzing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this week has a lot of good games, and this is one of them. It's Mr. Unlimited versus Big Trust Woo Woo, and I'm going to take Big Trust Woo Woo.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Gosh dang it, you took my upset!
Yes! Yes!
You took my upset!
Yes!
You
The Anthony Schulte upset
took
of the
my
week.
upset.
I didn't know that was going to be your upset. Give me the Colts over the Jets. That's the game, by the way. It's Colts and Jets in the Meadowlands. I'm going with the Colts here against the New York Jets.
Wow.
And watch the Jets win. Because whenever I pick the Jets, they lose. Whenever I don't pick the Jets, they win.
Well, because of that theory, I'm going to take the Jets, Jets.
You went
I'm
from an
going
upset
with
of the
the
week.
Colts because I can't stand Aaron Rodgers any longer.
I can't trust the Jets. I really can't.
No, you
And I
can't.
think the Colts are a good enough team to get past the Jets. Sauce Gardner doesn't look too hot right now.
No.
I think Joe Flacco has kind of like a little bounce-back game. And Jonathan Taylor's going to do pretty good on the ground against that rush defense. So I'm taking the Colts.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next game, Falcons-Broncos, according to the odds,
That's true.
the Falcons are not favored, so therefore, the Ryan Donnelly impromptu upset of the week, give me the Dirty Birds to beat
I'm
the
also picking the Falcons.
Denver Broncos.
Just how it faded out there. Let's go with the Falcons
Going with the Falcons
over the
here.
Broncos.
And then we have Seahawks and 49ers. Will be a decent game over in the NFC West. I'm going with the 49ers. I think they're starting to figure things out. They have all their guys. I'm going with the 49ers.
Until CMC is injured again, I'm picking the 49ers.
Let's go Niners on this one.
And then we have probably the game of the year.
Yeah.
Chiefs and Bills. The Chiefs are 9-0 underdogs going into Orchard Park. I'm going with the Bills. Bills Mafia.
Bills Chiefs is this generation's John Cena versus Randy Orton. Classics every single time. I'm so excited. I can't believe this game didn't get flexed.
Yeah, I don't know, Jim. I don't know. That's why.
Fair enough, but ooh, this is tough.
These are always
It's
tough, I
good
think.
football versus ref ball. That's all this game is.
I guess you could say, I don't know, Jim. You got the Chiefs, you got Patrick Mahomes, and you got Buffalo and Josh Allen. Oh, two of the best quarterbacks, in the league. Oh, I don't know, Jim.
This game could
this is a toss-up.
This
Oh,
game.
I don't know.
This game could get flexed to another Patrick Mahomes fan and Chris Collinsworth, but I hope the Bills break ref ball. Go Bills. Go Derek.
Go Bills.
Go Joe.
In support of Derek, friend
In
of the program.
support of friend of the program, Derek Steele. Give me the Bills. I'm sick and tired of the Chiefs and their
You will finally
nonsense.
lose. Ha, ha, ha.
Yes.
All right, we have the Bengals and the Chargers. I'm going with the Bengals. They're the underdogs. I don't know what Vegas is thinking right now. Maybe they know something we don't, but I think the Bengals are going to pull this one out.
I'm thinking they will too. Bengals, they
Joe
had
Burrow
an
has
insane
been
game.
insane.
They had an insane game against the Ravens, just fell short, so they're going to be playing angry against the Chargers.
And the Chargers, they couldn't punch it in
No,
against
they couldn't.
that Rams defense. So I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a shootout.
Give me Jim Harbaugh. I'm
Really?
taking the Chargers.
Wow.
Taking the Chargers.
Okay.
This game also did get flexed into Sunday Night Football. And then we have the Texans and Cowboys going with the Texans in Jerry's world. One of the sun blinding them this game.
They won't. I'm also going to... The Texans are going to take that loss to the Lions very, very, very close to heart. And they're going to absolutely destroy the Cowboys. And I'm going to say 68 points.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm going to go with 60 points.
Not the point total that I projected. I'm going maybe... not the point total I projected in the 60s? Because right now I have 45, but I'm planning to go a little higher with that. Let's go 52.
I still don't know about this Browns and Saints game. That's really just a genuine toss-up.
I just went back to it. I mean, you got the Caesars Superdome, which is one of the toughest places to play in football.
They did just get a win under the Rizzler.
Yes,
Rizzy.
they did.
I'm not doing that. That's weird.
Are you gonna mew live on air?
I was not. Tony, this one's for you.
Oh, my.
That was for you, Tony.
Oh,
There you go,
my.
We are sorry, viewers.
He'll probably send that to the group chat
Yep.
tomorrow. But, oh gosh, you got famous Jameis,
Yeah, this game's
but also you got the Saints.
Derek Carr.
I mean, who did the Saints play last week?
Falcons. Falcons.
Yeah, and the Falcons are a very good team. So I'm gonna stick with the Saints. My picks are locked.
I'll probably move over to the Saints.
My picks are locked.
My picks are locked as well. Well, that's all we have for today's show. Kind of an up and down show. Kind of struggling through this one on like 4 hours of sleep. But hey, thank you for tuning in to Card Guys Season 3, Episode 19 already on 101.1 The Beat and YouTube. Stay tuned for Monday's program where we discuss hopefully a victory Monday for the Lions after they play the Jaguars. And who knows, maybe the Red Wings or Pistons get hot over the weekend. We have something to talk about with them as well. For my good buddies, Ryan Donnelly and Michael Rosenkranz, I'm Anthony Schulte saying so long, everybody.
Love you, Mom and Dad. Have a great rest of your day, folks.